level of curiosity to see kind of how the offense takes shape over the next month, not knowing really what it's going to look like yet?
Yeah, I think it's always high going into this time of year. You always want to see how things develop, and obviously with the new staff and some new pieces on offense, excited to see how it all looks and how we continue to progress throughout this training camp.
Where do you guys feel you're at? As you learn this new offense and you come in, it's just day one, but how are you feeling overall about where this offense is at?
I mean, I'd say for sure better than where we were at the start of the spring. So you kind of come in, and this is going to be our second time going through the install again. So kind of relearn what you already know, but kind of hone in on more of those details throughout camp, and excited to go through that process and see how we handle all that information to come.
Well, there were a lot of you guys last year talking about wanting to be coached harder, wanting to have more focus on details, holding people accountable, things like that. Caleb has talked about wanting to be coached harder. What have you observed from the way that Ben is coaching him and how he's responding to it?
Well, I won't speak on Caleb specifically, but I can speak for myself, and I know just the feeling I get from my position coach, Jim, and I know that's coming from Ben kind of setting the tone with those guys upstairs, and you feel that from Declan kind of leading the offense as well, and then obviously from Ben himself. But no detail goes unnoticed, and despite the result that might happen, you may catch a ball and it might be a big play in practice, but he's harping on the detail of your alignment's off or your steps are off here, and even though we got the result right, we didn't do it the right way at times, and those are the details that you need to hear. And you can't be result driven all the time, especially this time of the year in training camp. You really got to be detail driven, and Ben's all about the details, and you feel that in every meeting. So I think that's the one.
Impressions of going against Dennis Allen's defense. I know it's been early, but even today in practice, what do you notice about facing that defense?
He'll bring a lot of stuff, especially on the first plays of camp and mini camp. I don't know that. So it definitely brings a lot of various pressures and obviously different looks and coverages rotating here and there. But and those guys, they definitely harp on playing hard man coverage and being physical with guys in the routes, and I think that's all really good to see, and excited to see those guys on defense thrive this year in that type of scheme.
Were you surprised when Ben yanked the first team off?
No, not at all. That's I think that's on par for how Ben is. So. No, I don't think so. I think I was actually a little exhausted, so all I heard was a little bit of yelling, and I knew that obviously things weren't going well there for the last few plays. But no, I think that's on par for Ben. If you're not doing it right, he's going to get you out, and he's not going to just see that stuff continue. So it's just a lesson to us that you got to be on the details. We got to be on the details going into practice, and in order to get our reps in, because unfortunately, when that type of stuff happens, we got guys now missing out on reps, and those are opportunities for guys, whether to make a team or whatever. So all the reps are important. All that matters.
Get together.
Was that just early install?
Caleb,
kind of sloppiness with new stuff.
I would just say it's stuff we should know. Yeah.
Are you still the union rep?
I am. Yeah. I know a lot's been going on. I will say I've been busy for the past couple of months between the nuptials and some honeymoon things. So I don't know if I'm the guy to ask. I was on a call a few weeks ago, but besides that, I'm not too sure as to the details as of everything going on.
Do you have faith that they will get this next hire right and that they learned?
I sure hope so. Yeah.
What did you make of the happenings the last week?
Obviously it's unfortunate, and to see the union, this that happened with your union is really unfortunate. But hopefully that we can respond and put good leadership in place.
That it played out so publicly.
I think that just is what it is nowadays. I think I'm not surprised by really much, especially in our business, playing out publicly these days.
Circling back to Brad's question, how do you as a leader and somebody that's been around for a while calibrate your patience/impatience when there's sloppiness that should be, not there?
I think it's a balance. I think this time of year when, today's day one, so I think naturally maybe, there's the feeling of, it's just day one, but, you got to have that urgency from the get-go. And I think Ben's brought that for sure. But, we on the team, we got to bring that every single day. And, we also, not only do the coaches are going to be holding us accountable, we got to hold each other accountable with that stuff as well. And so we can do a better job of that. And we got to do a good job of that throughout this training camp in order to get where we want to go.
Cole, your offensive coordinator's only like a couple years older than you.
Yeah.
What's that been like so far?
Well, credit to Declan. It doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, obviously, he doesn't look old. I'm not saying that, but he doesn't present himself as a young guy at all. He handles meetings really well, and he demands a lot of respect on the football field. And the main thing is he knows what he's talking about. You know, if you don't know what you're talking about, guys can sense that, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So I don't think it really matters how old you are. If you know what you're doing and know what you're saying, guys are going to respond and guys are going to listen. And I think guys have done that so far.
Well, what was it like being out there with Colston today?
It was great. Yeah, I know he's got a little bit more to go, but excited to see where he goes and can see where he can fit in the offense and those type of things. You know, obviously a great athlete, you know, got great size, really fluid in his routes, got great speed too. So looking forward to seeing him develop this training camp and how he's going to help us this season.
Do you view that as a competition or kind of how you two can work together in tandem?
I think it's both. I think there's naturally areas where we're going to compete with one another just because we're in the same position and we're both pass catchers. And, you know, I always feel like, despite if you're a tight end, running back, receiver, we're all competing with one another for certain roles in the offense. And, you know, nowadays they can put you anywhere. And so as long as you can show the coaches that you can handle certain things, they're going to put you all over the field. So, yeah, there's aspects of it that's competition. And then there's aspects where I think that we're going to be able to complement each other's game really well. So looking forward to see how
just a press conference. That's all it is.
To make both of us a lot better. But then when it comes to season, it'll be fun to see how we complement one another on the football field.
Well, how intrigued are you by the left tackle competition?
They had practice and training camp today.
Directly all the time, but
yeah,
walk in line, that could be the guy that
My
you're
mic is
How
off
does that
because I'm
affect you?
talking. I don't want to be
Yeah,
talking.
sure. I think
to
it's
the
just
thing.
getting reps with all those guys during this time of year. And I think camp's a good time for that. You know, we're going to get reps with a bunch of different guys just because that's the nature of camp. And but I'm looking forward to see where that goes. And look, I think there's competition across the board in the offense. I'm sure that's a highlighted one here coming into camp. But looking forward to see how those guys compete. And I think whenever you bring in and have competition across the board at all position groups, it's only going to make the team better. So looking forward to that.
What do you like most about the offense so far? Does anything stand out?
Well, obviously how creative Ben is, and you've seen that in Detroit, and how detail-oriented he is within the offense, and just I mean, his knowledge in general is just great. So there's a lot of things that, you know, even when we've come back from the spring break, this summer break here, maybe some tweaks here and there and some routes that we've seen that they looked over in terms of how we ran them in the spring and kind of adjusting them to whether it's to help us get open better or scheme open guys better. It's just really cool to kind of see that progression and that growth within the offense.
Can I give you another union question?
Sure, yeah, I'll answer what I can. Yeah, absolutely.
As it comes out that there's a decision
Hannah,
on
look at the text message now.
guaranteed salaries, and it's kind of
Well, what'd you say?
double secret probation. Nobody.
Yeah.
Should those things be shared
Oh.
with the players? Or the heads of their own?
No, I had to get out the office right
I say
quick.
that without knowing
Hey, check
too
the
much
messages,
detail
man.
about
That's
that
all.
certain subject. I think, you know, I know guaranteed contracts are a big talk amongst players and amongst people in the league. And, you know, the thing is, when I look at Major League Baseball, predominantly, obviously, guaranteed contracts,
Now, look at
basketball
the
the same
group
way. I don't know if there's really anything in their union or CBA clause that states they have to be guaranteed. It's a precedent that's set. I think we saw with some guys this year in the draft, the second round guys starting to get guaranteed contracts. That starts the precedent, and it makes it hard to go back on that in years going forward. So it's kind of on us players to set that precedent.
So it just means see y'all
and get that going. I'm sure that'll take time. I don't know if that'll even happen while I'm playing or anyone here is playing, but I think that's a slow burn that can happen over the course of time.
No, you could have been a baseball player, not have to work.
Well, yeah, that's also a long road in those minor league systems.
What about the 18 game conversation? And where do you stand on that? And how do you think next union head picking that person?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different opinions on that in terms of how they want to go about it. I think if you're going 18 games, obviously there needs to be a cut somewhere in the schedule, in my opinion. I think we could all benefit, you know, if we're doing that by adding an extra bye week within the season if you're going 18 games, and then obviously, you know, you'd want to from a player side, I would think you'd want a bigger share of the pie for the revenue split, and I think those are all the things that you want to look at for an 18th game. But again, that's also something I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm totally informed on, but those are my few opinions on the 18th game matter. Awesome.
So Cole Kmet, is Cole Kmet our representative? I gotta find out.
Set that tone.
I don't know, but I'll be right
I mean,
back,
I think, being with him for the
Okay.
offseason a little bit now, kind of in the camp, I just kind of like his expectation. It's set from the start. He wants to dictate terms and take his chances. And I think as a defense, you love that, right? The onus is on the player, and now it's on us to kind of win our matchups and go get it. And obviously, he has his wrinkles and things like that. But I think from we'll get into kind of X's and O's as we go. But I think just mentality-wise and kind of where he's coming from, you can appreciate it for sure.
Do you like doing up downs?
It took me back to like 7th, 8th grade a little bit. Like you're going a little bit. But it was funny. I was talking to Kevin Byard because I was just like checking my tempo a little bit, and your head's just kind of straight down the whole time. But he was wearing green cleats today, so out of the corner of my eye, just like Periffis cleats. So I was just making sure I was kind of going the same as he was. But it was cool to kind of, obviously when you're in it, it's not that cool. But when you get done, and you all are kind of a little tired, and then you go out to practice, it's kind of what you want. It's like that grimy kind of camp start. But it was a good time for sure.
TJ, how about that? What was your first impression of first practice run by you?
Yeah, I think obviously, right, like we're out there competing from the start, and I think when you get into camp, kind of from what I've seen in the past, I love that just from the first play we're competing. And again, first day, so we'll see more and more of kind of how that flow goes. But his expectations are high, and that's what this is. This is the NFL. That's what it should be. So he expects a lot from both sides of the ball and special teams as well. And we'll obviously continue to kind of see more of that for sure.
How much did you guys hear from the defense? How much did you guys?
I mean, he knows what our expectations are from DA, right? So he knows kind of what we need to be doing, and so he'll let us know if he doesn't see that. But I think again, we'll kind of get into more of a flow of what that looks like. Obviously he's working with the offense and things like that, but he's definitely talking to us and letting us know what he sees too.
What kind of tone did Tremaine's interception on that first play set for you guys?
It was awesome. I think especially, right, you're coming from the up downs and stuff, and like you're kind of getting going, and then we get a pick, and it's football time. And I think it was a great way to start. Obviously, that's what you want. That's what you talk about doing. So for him to go out there and do it, it was awesome. Go score and everything like that too. It was a great way to start.
Back to those up downs, Dennis talked about setting the culture here. Do you think does stuff like that actually work?
I mean, I understand it for sure, right? I mean, I think I've been doing this for a little bit now. But I think when you get the whole team buying in and knowing that every single person that's going to be on that field has to do it, right? There's no treatment. It doesn't matter what year you are. You're out there doing it. How offensive lineman defensive lineman, things like that. You're going to be out there doing up downs. I think that's
what
cool,
separates
right?
the NFL
he let us know
from
about
the
it.
NBA.
He the standard. He showed us what it was going to look like.
NFL,
like it was a drill,
everybody is held accountable.
NBA
NBA
just shows his expectations.
It ain't the same. That's why the league is
I think afterwards we all
it's falling apart because of this.
It was a good time for sure.
You gotta be nailed to the ground by everybody. Everybody can't be
right. Like it's defense.
One person doing one thing and the other. That's not football.
To go play
Good
for this
team,
defense, those are things you
everybody
do.
play on the same accord.
That's what it is.
You were a union alternate last year, right?
Yeah.
You this year too.
Yeah.
What do you make of that last week?
I mean, obviously, like I'm fresh off these up downs right now. I'm gonna go hit some recovery and stuff like that. But I know Cole was kind of talking about it too a little bit, and he's our rep for that stuff. And obviously, kind of a lot of things been out in the news and everything like that. Something that we're still on calls talking about. But for me right now, I'm kind of locked in on what's going on here.
I'll take one more swing at it. What do you need in your next league?
I'll take one more response for you. I'm gonna go hit this recovery. No, I got you.
What do you need in the next leader, whoever it is?
Yeah, I hear you. Like I know, like I got you, but for me, I don't know a ton in terms of that right now. There's still a bunch of calls going on, so we'll see what happens for sure.
What are you looking forward to hitting in this recovery?
Yeah, man. It's a good cold tub. All the modalities we got. It'll be good, man. I'm excited. Football's here, and now the fun begins.
How would you describe Grady's presence since he's got here?
Yeah, I feel like just his vocal leadership's been awesome, you know. And again, he's a guy who's been kind of doing that since OTAs. Been here every day, locked in, ready to go. Again, right, like a older guy, but you can see it when he's out there, man. He's got so much juice in him, and he's just ready to go. I feel like the way that he's going to be kind of that vocal leader, and also a guy who does it by example for that D-line room. You got a bunch of alphas in that room, so it's going to be fun for sure.
I think the defense needed that more than anything, just in terms of you guys were talking about a culture shift and reset this year. With someone like Brady and his veteran presence, but also the type of leadership he brings, was that maybe a missing link from last year that you think you have now?
I don't know. You know, I don't know in terms of what it looked like from the past, but I know that we're really excited to have him now and have a guy like that. And I think what it does, it's a competition between everyone. I think no matter who you bring in or kind of what they've done, you go out there and you have to compete with the guys next to you and the guys on the other side of the ball. And so I think that adds a lot to that group. Obviously, a guy who's been playing at a high level for a long time. You know, and as a linebacker, I'm definitely excited we got him for sure.
Not your call, but what are you looking for with that third spot next to you and Tremaine? What skill set would best do you think?
I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like we got a really good room.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Room, and coach is kind of trying to ask us to kind of do them all right now, just so we can get a feel for the defense and things like that. But there's so many guys who could play that role. Again, it's more of a physical presence for sure. But that's kind of, I feel like we all kind of have that ability too. And a bunch of guys have been rotating in, doing a really good job. So again, that's what we want at linebacker. It's not just like me and Maine got to go out there and prove it every day too, right? So you know, it'll be a good fluid kind of rotation. And again, we're all kind of doing them all, and we'll kind of see where that falls for sure.
What have you learned about Dennis's scheme and what it can do for linebackers? You're saying about the big play.
Yeah, it's aggressive, and it's a defense. There's also like a good amount of thinking too, right? There's a lot of processing and being able to have vision at times, and also winning your one-on-ones, right? And going and attacking downhill, getting the doubles off of the big guys up front so they can go do what they need to do. But again, as we kind of go, we'll kind of, I feel like we'll find our sweet spot for kind of what we'll be doing. And right now, he's going to throw it all at us to see what we can handle. And I appreciate that, because that's kind of what it is in camp. You're seeing a ton. You're seeing kind of, you know, at first you start off just seeing a whole bunch of things, and then towards the end you kind of can narrow your vision down. And so I think he's doing a good job of kind of throwing it at us and see what sticks for sure.
For you, what's the difference between middle and weak?
It's a good question. I think, you know, early in my career, started off kind of in the middle, so more like vision, right? You're kind of seeing, you know, that guard, center guard to, you know, go to will. You're now kind of more so seeing half in a way, right? You're seeing tackles to the back and things like that. So the vision, I'd say, is a little different, right? Your matchups are a little different. But I feel comfortable in kind of doing either, to be honest with you. You know, I played Mike for a long time, for most of my career, and then when I got here, I played Will, and really started to kind of get a feel for that too. So either way for me, I'm cool.
TJ, last year you guys kind of struggled to stop the run. There's a lot of the same personnel this year.
I like TJ at the mic better than I do Tremaine Edwards.
At this point in training camp,
I think Tremaine Edwards, I like him better floating.
Yeah.
A little bit of Sam.
Good defense to start with.
I like him out in space more because he's so athletic.
You know, run our blitzes.
And the trenches, TJ is the man.
If it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 the whole game, and we lived in that for most of the year last year. So, right, it's being able to kind of dictate those terms on 1st and 2nd down, whether it's tackles for losses or doing things up front to. Again, those guys got so much talent up there to just let them go and let them go do what they need to do. And those things will come, but it's definitely a point of emphasis for sure.
TJ, what have been your early impressions of him?
Yeah, he's, I think both him and Power done such a good job of just kind of taking everything in. It's a lot, man. It's definitely a lot getting thrown at them. They've done a really good job of just handling everything. Day one, they had snacks in the room, so that's big. You know what I'm saying? Like, normally that takes a couple days, like, and from day one, they came with a big box of snacks. Like, so for me, I'm good. Like, they did a good job for sure. They had a good amount of candy. I will say we missed some sunflower seeds for sure. But again, like day one, they showed up with snacks. Like I can't complain. But they've been doing an awesome job, man. I'm excited for them. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Yo, Alan, man, I don't know if you've seen all of this, but look, man, this was going on the first day of practice, man. Just read some of this stuff, man. Look at this, man.
Yeah. I need some more on Burton. Like I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Burton. You just got your contract. I was thinking he wasn't practicing because he didn't have a contract, but I'm not digging this right now. You need to get your ass out there and play. Like, you're gonna be behind. You're not a lineman. You're a skill guy. You don't even know the plays. Like, how they gonna put you in the game and you don't even know what the fuck going on? I just that's how you get behind, G. Like, we see this all the time when skilled players don't go to training camp and they start off slow. We don't get to see them in week 8. Like you know, Colston got out there. He had a shoulder injury. Right. Football, 75% shoulder work. You got a damn soft tissue and get your ass out there and play, dog. Anyway, but I see Nashawn Wright. I like him. He was out of Minnesota. I see he got the start now where, you know, for Jalen's spot. So, you know, I like that.
Shout out to Courtney Cronin, man. It just, look, and it's going exactly like Ben said. You got the guys at the left tackle competing, Trapello, Jones, and Karan. So, you know, he stayed true to his word. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Tremaine Edmonds, I like him in space, man. I think Coach Allen seen that and was like, I'm gonna take you away from the middle of the field. That's a lot of traffic for him. TJ is more of a thumper. TJ is a guy that plays within 3 yards as a linebacker, but Tremaine's a little bit a floater. He's an athlete, so put him out there where he can cover a little bit more, like he did in Buffalo. So I kind of like what Allen did. He switched everything up. You know, putting TJ inside, so making him the Mike, which I think TJ is a better Mike than Edmonds is as a Mike.
Yeah, I think he was kind of saying something like that before the season started, that they was going to pretty much move these guys around. So it's the first day of camp. And it's been true to what you said. Like, he gonna move everybody around. So you was right, bro.
Yeah. You was right. See, the thing about it with his 4-3 scheme compared to Eberflus 4-3 was contingent on space. So his wasn't contingent on attacking the front line and playing bone-on-bone football. Like, you heard that reference from Coach Marinelli, bone-on-bone, meaning that you having more size up front, and that frees up our linebackers. So Eberflus likes his guys to be a little bit lighter so they can endure throughout the game. Whereas Coach Allen is like, hey, I'm gonna use more size so we can attack the football, stop the run on the way to the quarterback. So that means that your linebackers got to be a little bit more stout. So that's where TJ can now go back to the middle and play a more natural role, and Tremaine can go back to his natural role like he was at Buffalo. So I just think the scheme is different. And, you know, not saying, I think Tremaine will be better off the line of scrimmage compared to being in the middle, in between the guard and the center. That's a lot of traffic, man, and a lot of mean MFers in that damn inside offense line. So if he gets out there a little bit close to the tackle box, now he's a little bit freed up to make plays.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. That makes a ton of sense. Because he was getting, he was like he went in the right position last year. Like, so we're gonna see, like I've been saying, quicker who's a stud or who's a dud, or who can move around, who can do something when I'm moving around. Because he got an interception off Caleb off the first throw. So Dennis Allen knows what he's doing off the first play. Interception.
First play.
First throw is crazy. Oh, that's crazy. So when you saw that right here, Allen, what did you think about that? Like, what could happen for him to get that interception off the rip like that? Is it something the defense is ahead of the offense type of thing, or Caleb? What do you think what it really was?
Well, defense is always going to be ahead of the offense in training camp, but I think he studied that all summer long, and I think Coach Allen referenced that earlier. The guys were retaining the information, So Tremaine was retaining the information, and now it's more natural. I don't know what the play was, but if I could bet, it was something in the flat, something to kind of warm up the engines for the offense. I'm not sure, but it was definitely probably in the flats, his interception. Something that he can read pretty quick, and he got to it, and he's 6'5", so he covers a lot of ground once he's being freed up and not in the inside the tackle box. Now he's free to cover tight end. You know, he can go out on the running back. He's more privy to doing stuff like that, and that's more to his skill set, because I've always said he's a good coverage linebacker. You know, I always pick at him. He's a nickel linebacker, and I mean that, meaning he can cover, but he's not a thumper. He's not going to help me in the run game. That's not his strong suit. So it's all about, like, Eberflus is more about scheme, whereas Coach Allen is like, I'm going to put my players in the best position to make plays, and then we'll worry about scheme as the players' talent seem fit. You fit the talent with a scheme. Like, you don't focus on your scheme and fit the play in it. You're going to get fired in the NFL. You make sure that you're going to get fired. You make sure that you grab the talent you got and then make the scheme of what you got. That's what good coaches do.
Yeah, man. And it seemed like that's what Dylan Allen is starting to do. But we see right here, a lot of people thought Tyson Badger was going to be the QB2, but Case Keenum was the QB2 today, man. Like, the OG was the second quarterback, man. So I'm not really surprised by that. But what's your thoughts when you see this, Allen? Like, what were your thoughts, man? Like, just seeing some of this stuff.
I'm saying this, G. You know, we ain't talked about Tyson Badger. I like Tyson Badger, but that fiasco with his dad, I knew when they brought in a veteran quarterback, and Case Keenum is the number 2. He's not gonna be he's not gonna be a number 3. They paid him like $4 or $5 million, so he's coming in here to be the backup. I would not be surprised if Tyson Badger is traded by the first game, because he's got yeah, man. I think he's got value to get moved in the NFL. He was getting a lot of interest a year ago, but we didn't pull the trigger because we didn't have a quality backup. Now we got a quality backup. I would not be shocked if a team offers like a 5th or a 6th rounder for him to be a backup. I wouldn't be surprised, because, you know, injuries happen in the summer. So I just wouldn't be surprised if Tyson Badger get moved. It wouldn't shock me the Littles.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either, man. So we just going over these notes, because at first, Allen, you know, they didn't have a press conference up there at first. It was just like, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Couldn't find the press conference, so I looked on Twitter and I saw Courtney Cronin pretty much give an update, an outlook of what the practice was today. So I was trying to just do that. So instead of them giving us live footage, I just put this up here, man. I just want to get your opinion, get your thoughts of everything that happened on the first day. You know, Caleb throwing an interception. I just fill up them guys competing at left tackle. Luther Burton III is injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The dude been injured since college, injured in the pros, injured at practice. I hope this don't become a situation where he becomes Kevin White Jr., bro. Like, all over.
Yeah, man.
Because it's gonna come back. Wow, we could have picked somebody else at 30, 39, and all of this. And
man.
Yeah.
G, man, you know, we champion that dude, man, because I was like, that dude can really play football. I was like, I was so hurt with the first pick, but when we picked him, I was like, damn, he fly as hell, man. Like, he can play, like, he's a game breaker. But it's like, every time I turn around, man, it's like, he hurt, he ain't practicing, contract. And I'm like, he got the talent out of this world, but he's got to get on the football field. You play wide receiver. That takes a lot of knowing the playbook, because you're playing in a position that's not designed to go one way. You got option routes. You got to get feel for your quarterback. You got to get a feel for the DBs. You got to understand coverages. Wide receiver is one of the hardest positions in football. And you behind the 8 ball, not practicing. I know he don't know that playbook. I know he don't. I know he don't. So, and it's like now you're behind, and it's unfortunate, man. I just hope that he doesn't fall to the wayside his rookie year, and it be like injury, coaching staff don't have trust in him. I hope he don't be one of them guys, man.
Yeah, because it's crazy because it's the summertime, and then Ben Johnson came up there and said, or Ryan Poles, like everybody's in shape and guys, they took care of their bodies the whole offseason. And you get out there the first day at camp, bro. You down your rookie corner, you down your rookie wide receiver, you down JJ. Like, this is crazy, bro. And these guys are expected to come in right away and contribute.
Yeah.
So what is going on in the summer, man? Like, guys are not working out too much, or they working out too much? Could that be a thing too? Like working out too much?
They're not working out, G. They're not. To me, when they come into camp and they get hurt like that, they're not working out like that. Because if you're working out every day the way they ask you to, you're not going to be hurt going into camp. You're going to be, your body's going to be sustained some kind of callus. Like, you're already rugged and beat up enough. When you come into camp, you're good because you've already went through the grueling exercises, and then you're just ready to go. Now when you put the pads on, that's a whole nother element. But these soft tissue injuries, that's a start and go thing. That means your body is still in a recess. Like, you're not putting a lot of pressure and challenging your body and your limbs enough before you get to practice.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, because you see these videos of these guys practicing with they college coaches, practicing with other football players. They just all practicing. You know, we just seen a video of Tyreek Stevenson out there practicing with Eddie Jackson and Samuel Blackwell, Josh Blackwell, and he's fine. But it seemed like, man, you guys are practicing. But now when you get on the field, when it's really time to practice, you kind of get them in the game speed. Their bodies break down, man. Like, that's unfortunate, man. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Nah.
Yeah. That's just unfortunate.
But that's the thing about football, G. Like, I mean, I know I played in the 90s as far as like high school and 1 year of college. I think these guys now, they do a lot of like 7-on-7 work. Whereas back in the day, we ran the hills, we lift weights. We didn't do a lot of things out like in the open. We didn't do a lot of like 7-on-7 stuff. And I'm not saying that might be better or not, but we tended to deal more with muscle mass and endurance, like running like up hills and things like that. And I didn't have no soft tissue injury. I had shoulder problems, but soft tissue, I just always equate that to not stretching, not resetting your body. Like, that cold tub, that's a godsend, G. Like, you got to dump yourself in that cold water, man, like them old school football players.
Right.
Get in that ice, man, and that Epsom salt, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what the recovery, what are they doing for recovery, G? Are they drinking some grape soda and playing playing PlayStation when they get home? You got to recover, man. Like, you got to, coconut water and things like that, man. All these things that young people got today, man, that we didn't have, I would have loved to have, like these nutritional drinks and things like that. They got to recover better, man. Like, your diet's got to be firm. It's a whole lot of things, G.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that they got to do, man, and they're very young at that. Like, and you're very young, and it's like you guys haven't even started playing football yet. Like, you haven't even really started anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the fact that these guys are already hurt, it's a concerning thing, man. It just doesn't make any sense, man. And Alan, before we get you up out of here, man, I'm gonna pull up this right here. Let me see. I can pull this up. Hold on one second. And we're gonna talk about what they learned at camp today. Hold on.
I love that song, G.
You know I'm gonna get you right, big dog. You know you wanted some music, so I just wanted to make sure that I put the music in here like you wanted me to do. So we got the 10 things we learned from practice today, according to Larry Meyer. This right here, Johnson was pleased with how the players, how they arrived at camp. We got half of them early for training camp a few days ago, and the other half coming in today. All of them are ripping and ready to go in shape. You can tell that they took the summer seriously. So I thank them for doing that. That's what I'm saying right there. Al. That's cap, man. That's not true because you got guys hurt, man. You got guys hurt. So Ben Johnson, man, as much as he's enthusiastic and you know what I mean and everything like that, it's just some of this stuff is just, not good.
Yeah,
this isn't good. So let me see what else they got.
But you know what, G? You know what, G, man? He probably just saying that out loud. It's more of a psychological thing. Yeah, we can see through it, but he might be saying that because the guys that are in shape, I'm talking to you. The ones who ain't, I ain't talking to you. So, I think the cream rises to the top. So the guys that's taking the job serious, that's who he's talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Because Ruben Hippolyte wasn't hurt today. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. He a dog, I heard too. They say they love him.
Right here, Johnson detailed his goals for the year's camp. The training camp means just another step for what we're building. There's certain battles that we've already highlighted that take presence over the course of camp. But I think everything is open. I'm really excited about to where that leads. So when he says, things are open for camp as far as competition, what do you think he's talking about the most?
He's talking about the left tackle position. That left tackle position, that's a big position, G. I don't think our audience and people understand that left tackle it's 3 important people on the football team: the quarterback, free safety, linebacker, and the left tackle and corner. I say that's your top 5 positions. Left tackle is in the top 5, if not top 3. That guy is the most important person on the field, and this is a big deal, man. Jones, Ozzie, and Karan, they're gonna battle it out, and I feel like that's good because whoever gets that job, we know he fought like hell for it.
Right. Yeah, CJ, you got your mic on, man, because this is a lot right here, man. The certain battles that we highlighted, they might take precedence over the course of camp. And I'm trying to think of other positions because who does Ruben Hippolyte have as far as competition as that third linebacker, man?
Sewell. Yeah. But Sewell is more of an inside backer. I think Hippolyte, he's a quintessential wheel linebacker. Like he's a guy that plays in space. That's why I think he'll probably start. Him, TJ, and Tremaine on base fronts. They have Hippolyte. He might keep Hippolyte on the field more than we think.
I think so. I think so, especially if he's fast. But we don't have a pass rush, so you can think Kyler Gordon, Hippolyte, and some packages coming at your quarterback is gonna be some nasty stuff to see. So let's see what else we got. He said, with so many players and coaches, building trust will also be a key objective. Johnson liked the situation to a Netflix documentary that chronicles the elite pilots of the Air Force Thunderbirds. This is what he said, Al. He said that through the course of their training, it's all about earning trust because it's a dangerous job and they're doing some very dangerous acrobatics throughout the air. As I think about our team and where we're going in training camp, there are a lot of parallels. Really, the next 6 weeks is about us coming together because it takes time to build trust. It's hard to earn trust. And it's really easy to lose that trust. And so really these next 6 weeks are huge. That part right there, Alan, him saying it's so hard to get trust, but it's easy to lose trust. So what does that say to him? Or what does that say to the players in the locker room that he's trying to relay in the message to that extent of earning it is one thing and losing it is another thing as well?
Well, basically he's saying the guys that earn our trust, they're going to be the ones that's going to get to play, but they can also lose their trust, and then somebody else has to gain the trust to get their job. So that means that you gotta remain consistent above anything else with Ben Johnson and the coaching staff. You gotta be consistent Monday through Monday with your work habits, your attention to detail, the way your ability to blend with your teammates, leadership, self-starters. Those are the guys he's talking to, the self-starters on the team. The guys I don't have to talk to, G. I don't got to talk to you to lift weights and go to the trainer and make sure you're eating right. I talk to the rookies like that. But your veterans, your DJ Moores, the Cole Kmets, the Grady Jarrett's of the world. I don't have to talk. I don't want to have to talk to them guys. Those guys should be talking to the young guys. Those are the ones he's talking about. The trust. I trust Jarrett to do the right thing. I trust Jackson. Middle linebacker Edwards. I trust him to do his job. I trust my guy Jaquan Brisker to do his job.
Tyler Gordon, you know what I mean? Veterans, TJ, he trusts them guys to do their job.
I trust them to do their job, but if they don't do their job, I'm gonna move Nashawn Wright into the starting position. I'm gonna move this person into the position. So I think that's kind of where he was going with that.
Yeah, because he say, got number 4 right here. Johnson hopes the Bears will improve a little every day. The focus is for us is going to be continuous improvement, really for the next 6 weeks. That's all we really care about is getting a little better every single day, brick by brick, and that started today. The number 5 right here. This is what I want to talk about. Number 5 right here. Left tackle Braxton Jones and first-round pick Colston Loveland, and tight end from Michigan, both have been cleared for practice. The guys put in a ton of work alongside their trainers. The return for camp, we're excited to get those guys back going. I'm sure there's going to be a ramp-up period. They haven't played football in a while, but they're really ready to go, knock the rust off and get going. And he pretty much said that Colston Loveland was the person that was the most in the building in the offseason so far. Is this tight end? He's been the one that's been there the most. Colston Loveland has been in the building the most. So I don't know if that says as far as like the pecking order or who he trusts more than Caleb or who he trusts, but he's a number 10th overall pick, man, and it's ready to start to get to cooking, man, you know?
Yeah. And you know what, G? Colston Loveland, granted, he wasn't our first pick, but the one thing I learned about him, he was raised on the farm, G. What we talk about, them farm guys, man.
You and the farm guys, Roman Doomsday.
I love him. I'm telling you, look, you're not gonna outwork a guy that was born on the farm. Right. You're not gonna have a guy outwork Rome Odunze. Right. He grew up on the farm. You ain't gonna have a guy outwork Love Lane.
Coastal, yeah.
You're not gonna have a guy outwork them dudes. They're just built to work. That's it.
Right.
Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
Right, dude. The smoke you working out, man.
I'm telling you.
All right, what else we got? We got number 6. It says Ryan Poles indicated the Pro Bowl quarterback Jalen Johnson will open the camp on the non-football injury list with the leg. Of course, we already know that. We've got a lot of faith that he's going to put in the time in rehab. But his full self, when he comes back, is going to take a little bit of time. But I'm not overly concerned about it long term. I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like sometimes with these guys getting hurt, because we don't want guys out there playing hurt or not injured. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't want that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like you can justify any excuse. You can justify anything. You can justify whatever you want to justify about you being hurt. I don't feel well in the contract situation that he wants more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe Ryan Poles is what he's saying, but at the same time, I think it's a politic thing. I think it's a money thing. I don't think it's all the way true. Because like I said, you can come up with anything and it can justify anything about your body. You know what I mean? So, Alan, what you think about this right here, man? Even though JJ is a veteran and all of that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. What's your thoughts, man?
I think what you just said, basically, it could be a money thing. It could be him a silent protest and like we were talking yesterday, this guy, when you injured, you don't do any interviews. So Ryan Poles and the coaching staff might be like, well, since he wanna maybe do this silent protest, we're gonna go ahead and not give him a platform and just say, look, he's hurt and he won't be answering no questions and it won't be long. It could be a couple of weeks, but till things die down. I hope it's not that way, but to me, it's kind of funny. You just did an interview on Rich Eisen, and then all of a sudden, we didn't know you were hurt then. Then all of a sudden, you get to training camp and your leg hurt. So it's got to be some things going on behind closed doors that they're trying to work out, maybe.
Yeah,
Man, that don't sound right.
Go ahead, CJ. Go ahead, C.
Man, that just don't sound right to me. With Jalen Johnson, man, it seemed like to me. It seems like it's the contract. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, what's up, Jason? Jason says, as long as he's healthy this season, we will be good. Yeah, that's true, man. But it's a new scheme, Jason. It's a new scheme. It's a new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, damn sure
it's all new, man. So him coming in a couple of weeks later, when that new guy, what's the guy you mentioned, Alan, that was with the ones today, the 6'4" corner?
Yeah, Nashawn Wright.
Nashawn Wright. So first impression with a new scheme and a new staff is a lasting impression. They're not gonna forget this. Like, you can validate the excuse, you can validate the injury, you can validate being hurt, whatever you want. But when they put them guys on that field and their rookie is playing up and he's the one getting all the reps with the ones, they're gonna remember that, man, no matter what, because you're getting to see that rookie in the spot you wouldn't normally necessarily get to see him if Jalen Johnson was there. So he's gonna plant a seed and play well, and you never know. That situation is a slippery slope. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, never know. You right, G.
You never know. They say what they say on Love and Basketball. Don't let a rookie take your spot, Alan.
That's it. That's it.
And look, this is what number 7 right here. We got 3 more to go. Then we're gonna get up out of here. You got high expectations. The 70%, Alan. We didn't get your opinion on this because I made a post about this. The 70%. We all have goals to strive for. It's not a secret. I told him I would love for the season to complete 70% of his balls. So you would like to think over the course of practice they were completed 70% or more, or that it's hard to magically arise in a game. Alan, just what's your thoughts on that? I think 70%. He's going to have to be more surgical.
High, man.
That's high. He's going to have to be more surgical. He's going to have to be more accurate. He's going to have to be more timely. He's going to have to trust what he don't see. That's the thing. You have to trust what you don't see. He has to be better at anticipatory throws to complete passes beyond 68, 67, 66%. To reach 70%, you damn near playing like Drew Brees, some goddamn body. So I'm not really thinking he don't reach 70%, you know what I mean? Because that's a lot, but he needs to be somewhere near around that, you know what I mean? So they're setting that expectation. But what you think about this though, Alan? 70% completion rate from Ben Johnson. That's a lot, man.
That's a lot. And that lets me know that he's not going to have a lot of Ben Johnson. For him to have 70%, he's going to have to not have a running back in the backfield as much, meaning he's going to be flanking out his running back a lot, and the running back's going to get the ball in space. So that's a higher completion percentage, kind of like Sean McVay. Sean McVay gets his running backs in routes all the time, and that speeds up the quarterback and also speeds up the offense, and that's where the completion percentages start rolling up. So it can be done, but you're gonna have to have a lot of trust in Caleb to get rid of the football like really fast. Like, it ain't a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drop. It's a 1, 2. Once I say 3, the ball is gone. Right. So it's got to be symmetry and things like that. So that's very high, G. I mean, it can be done. It's not impossible, but you got to have total trust in Caleb in order for that to work out and proceed.
Yeah. So CJ, what you think about this, man? Because I don't think Caleb Williams is off too far from doing this, man. Because we saw what he did: 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? In a terrible scheme, in a terrible offense, with a terrible offensive line coach. You know what I'm saying? With a terrible head coach. So this really could be a possibly walk in the park. But I just want to know what's your thoughts about the 70% completion rate, CJ.
I mean, it's definitely possible for Caleb to do that. All he has to do is make the throws that you can't see, like you said earlier. That's going to be important, and also his timing. is going to be important with his receivers.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like Caleb, 70%, that ball got to be whipping out. Like he can't be overthinking. It got to be gone.
Yeah.
Some slants he gonna be throwing, that shit got to be gone, bro. That shit got to be gone. But let me go up to number 8, man. That was a good one, y'all. This is Williams talking about him being, the first 4,000 yard passer. We already talked about that. But we got Jared Gary right here. He's entering his 11th season. Jared still takes pride in his ability to defend both the run and pass at a high level. He said, that's something that's definitely a tool of mine. It was important to me as a young player when I used to play first, second down. I wanted to learn to be a better pass rusher, so I did that. I was able to be an all-down defensive lineman and just play up and down the line of scrimmage. That's something that I really take pride in, being flexible, being able to play 3 technique, nose in the run game, being able to rush out from 5 to 9s in the pass game, just do whatever I need to do to be a versatile piece of the defense, but also be super effective. So, Alan, when he talks about being able to flush out the 5s from the 9s in the pass game, can you educate the fan base about that?
Yeah, what he's wanting is he's wanting precision. He wants the offense to be like kind of like a smooth running car. Like he don't want a lot of kinky, a lot of noises and all. He wants the offense to purr and be productive, and that's going to take time because that playbook sounds like it's extensive. So that's going to take a lot of like knowledge and detail and things like that. So he wants the offense to run in its perfect optimum level. You know what I'm saying? But that takes time, and I think that's going to come with growth, and that's going to come with everybody. It's not just the quarterback. Everybody getting on the same page.
But so what you think about J.D. Garrett's thoughts about him being just a better pass rusher and able to be an all-down defensive lineman? So it's like he's just going to get in his bag and pick up where he left off at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Grady, my bad. Grady is more. Yeah, Grady is more built for this scheme. Being the 3 tech, he's gonna be asked to, get upfield, cause disruption and things of that nature. I think Grady is probably he's gonna need a little bit more help. I hope Billings comes back. I really would like Billings to play more with Grady and move Dexter. I believe in my heart, man, Dexter can develop and be an end. Right. And I feel like so. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Billings and Gary, I believe, will be really, really a good combination in the middle. And then we flank out Dexter and let him play along with Sweat in the starting lineup. Then we come off with the guy we got from Indianapolis. And he's like a super, Dale, like a super sub. But I really believe, man, if Grady is with the right guy that can take the pressure off, Grady will be another Pro Bowl player again. But Dexter's not stout like Billings. Like, he's not a nose tackle, and it's unfair to him to play that. But maybe this coaching staff will figure it out and move him to the edge and have him lose about 20 pounds.
Yeah, that just makes sense, man. I just think a lot of the guys, like you said, were just out of position. So CJ, Dexter, man, he's leaned out in the offseason. He's lost some weight. You know what I'm saying? He looks taller. He looks slimmer. He looks like that's something that Dennis Allen wants on his defense, because he just picked up a guy that's built like a tank from the Saints, wherever he played for that Toner guy. So do you agree with Dexter being on the defensive end would be a better look for him than nose tackles? Because I like Alan saying, I don't think he's built that way to perform at a level of a nose tackle. You know what I mean, CJ?
Yeah. I can definitely see Dexter moving to the end. I think it really depends how you're gonna look. This training camp. So you may see the Bears experiment with him on the end. I would like to see it. I would like to see if he can play all down the defensive line. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, and I agree. So the last thing is I think Ben Johnson was talking about some of the clunky moments in camp. He's looking forward to the joint practice with the Dolphins and the Bills. He says the first couple of weeks is going to be like an installation, so the guys are going to be thinking about mistakes and being made. I think a lot will come of these joint practices with Buffalo and Miami. They will be a good barometer, you know what I mean? Ask how much he expects starters to play in the preseason. He said, I'm going to put a lot of weight into these joint practices. That's our initial plan, and we'll have to see how much guys play over the course. So these joint practices, Alex, he's pretty much saying this is going to be the barometer. He's going to be the games, the fake games to test our defense and our offense, because they're not going to pretty much be playing a lot in the preseason. So what do you think about that, Alex?
Yeah, that's always been a barometer because you get to see the work extensive. Like, you know, both defensive back coaches and linebacker coaches, they all can huddle up from both teams and coordinate what drills they're going to do, so the scouts and everybody can get good looks at the players. The GMs are out there walking around talking to the coaches and stuff like that. It's a more intimate environment to watch players. Because you got to think about, sometimes we have gotten guys off the scout team with the teams that we had joint practices with in the past, you know, because we got a good extensive look at those players, and the intensity is always ratcheted up. Yeah, they always get into a fight. So it's a more intimate environment for football compared to the game, because a lot of times our good players don't play in the game anyway. So, you know, that's why I think the practices are way more important, and especially you can see things on one-on-one drills. Like we can see when Ozzie Trapillo is going against a defensive end from the Dolphins. Right. You know, we can see it live instead of watching it on TV. We're going to see it live. So those are better looks and more, I would say, career helpful than it is in the game. If preseason game, my ass.
So CJ, man, what's your thoughts about the joint practice? Like I said, we can see, like Alan said, everything live, one-on-ones, guys missing blocks, guys getting clamped up by cornerbacks, guys that's missing, getting juked by running backs. We're gonna see everything pretty much live on these joint practices. But see, what's your thoughts on these joint practices before we get up out of here, man?
Well, definitely, I think the joint practices are gonna help the Bears offensively and defensively. You know, to see where their team is at. I think it's a good thing. I would like to see more joint practices in the future. Yeah, you know, if they could do one every 2 years or something like that. That would be good for any football team, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I agree, man. So with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here, man. I just wanted to get Alan's thoughts on the last couple of things that's been happening in practice, this type of stuff right here. Shout out to the 68 people that's in the live right now. We really appreciate this. So if you just missed anything, this is what happened at today's practice. Hold on, I got y'all. Don't trip. This is what's pretty much happened today, but we wanted to get into the things that they learned about. So this is what it is, man. Luther Burden is hurt. Guys practicing at the left tackle position that we thought they would. Tremaine Edmonds picked off Caleb Williams today. So with that being said, that's pretty much it, man. And we will probably be back. I don't know when. I'm always trying to go live. You know, the season is here. I'm always going to be ramping up, trying to do things and for us to get our mojo going as far as content creators and everything like that. Yeah. So we're going to be ranching it up, man, whenever Alan's available, CJ's available. We'll be bringing you guys our real thoughts in real time, whether it's a press conference happening, whether it's updates on the practice. I'm always going to try to get some things going so we can get some content out here, because once week one comes, it's over with, man. So with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm G Walker, the CNG Podcast, and y'all can tell them who y'all are, then we can go up out of here.
So the CJ, the other member of the CNG Podcast. And we'll see y'all next time, man.
All right, see, my bad. This is Alan, CNG Podcast, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
And if you have not followed the CNG Podcast on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, please do so. And we out of here. Peace.